Hey folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. This morning I had court, handled that, had some meetings that I had to cancel because my mother-in-law's doctor's appointment was at 9 o'clock or 9:15, but the doctor didn't end up seeing her till almost 11, and my wife had a doctor's appointment because my wife had an injury, broke her hip. My mother-in-law has been going through some stuff. She had got run over by a car earlier in the year, and she's had all kinds of issues. So, yeah, we're back in the hospital today, and if you think it doesn't happen to attorneys, it does. I bleed, I cry, just like you guys, and I don't always just talk about the law. I decided that, if you know who your attorney is, you have a better idea if I'm the guy for you. So I just spit it out there, man. So we're worried about my mother-in-law. When you get run over by a car, it's pretty serious. She had full elbow, like an elbow replacement, a full hip replacement, and she was in the hospital for like 6 weeks, then like 2 months of rehab before she could come back. She was visiting California at the time when my wife and I had gone out of the country, and she gets hit by a car, man. You just never think this stuff will happen. And she's just been experiencing, besides the mobility and all that stuff, I mean, she's got a walker, and we got to help her in and out of the car, and all these different things. It's tough, it's you got to be there, and then you have you have your work, you have your friends, you have your stuff, and but you know what, family and friends are first, right? Family and friends have to come before business, right? So I had to leave, and now I have something that I can't leave. So my wife went to the hospital after her PT appointment, and we just switched at the hospital. So now I got to go to this meeting, and then I'll go back to the hospital, and I'm just I'm really concerned. I'm praying that my mother-in-law is okay. My father-in-law, he had some scares within the month, some heart issues. We ended up in the hospital with him, and it's you don't know. I deal with criminal cases, I deal with accident cases, people like my mother-in-law who've been hit by a car, and you don't see all of it. You read about it in the reports, and you hear it from the clients, but what I find is everyone doesn't tell it. I see firsthand what my mother-in-law is going through. She never complains to me. She never complains to my wife. She struggles to move. She's got the walker. It's just tough, man. And now we're worried about, did they miss something in the hospital, because she's struggling with a memory, and we don't know if it's something like the onset of dementia. We don't know if it's a product of the accident. We don't know. Heck, the doctors say that it could be a urinary tract infection that could make your mind, but she's saying things that don't make sense, saying things that haven't happened, and it's almost like talking to a child to some extent, where she's thinking about maybe what she's thinking about, she's saying. So she's saying things like, oh yeah, we go for a bike ride. She could barely walk. She doesn't even have a bike. We don't have a stationary bike. She doesn't have a bike to ride. She says, certain things, like things that we've done that we haven't, places that we've gone that we haven't, and it's scary. She's not an old woman. She's not in her, and I she's not in her 80s or 90s, right? I don't want to insult anybody. Hell, I think I'm old, right? But you see the grays coming in, right? You see the grays coming in. But having my own injuries when I got attacked by the dog, going through that firsthand it really gives me an insight, at least for me, on my personal injury cases, because now I think I ask my questions different. That my detail is different because of either what I've gone through myself when I was in the hospital and laid in a bed and learned how to walk again, a year and a half ago, and had a wound nurse, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, not even 5 days a week, 7 days a week, cleaning out my wounds, and a physical therapist a couple times a week, and trying to go from barely being able to move my toe to being able to stand up, to be able to put weight, to walk. I see that, and I see it firsthand with my father-in-law with his health issues, and my mother-in-law with her health issues. And man, like, be appreciative, right? This is the time, right? The Thanksgiving, the Christmas time that we all talk about families and stuff, and I see the the funny things about the crazy uncle, the crazy aunt. Look, nobody's perfect, right? Every family member's got the crazy person, or the rude person, or the mean person, or the depressed person. But be there for your family, be there for your family, be there for your neighbor, be there for other people. And kind of like what I was saying earlier in my video, hope that people will be there. Don't do it so like, hey, if I do this for you, you'll do this for me. That's not what I'm saying, because in the spirit of doing the right thing, you don't a lot of times you don't get a reward, folks, right? There's you do a good deed, right? I mean, I watch these TikTokers and YouTube guys, and they're giving people, and listen, I still think it's wonderful, but they're profiting from it, right? It's when no one's looking, right? Are you going to do the right thing when you find the wallet that's got $1,000 in it? Are you gonna just give it to customer service and hopefully they'll get it back? No, because someone there might take it. Are you going to go out of your way 30 minutes or an hour and hand deliver that wallet to someone because they lost it? Or if you find something, make a diligent effort. If someone's in help, if someone's broken down on the side of the road, what are you going to do? If you have a business and you can help another person and no one knows, it's not part of your advertising, do you do it? I got to tell you, the last couple weeks have been really tough weeks. I've had friends with issues. I have other friends with medical issues. I got sick dogs. I got a dog that's having seizures right now. I got a dog that his back went out and weren't sure that we're going to be able to, if he was going to make it or not. Now we got the dog with the seizures, not even a week later. I just go from, the analogy is I'm in a boat, right? And there's a leak. And as I'm fixing that leak, right? Boom, there's another leak behind me. And then I switch to the back and I'm dealing with that leak and I'm fixing that leak. And then there's another one in the front. And that's like the phone ringing, the new case, the cases that come right before Christmas, the people that, violate their probation and you're trying to keep them out of custody. The cases where, you're trying to get a settlement to help people so they have their finances. Man, it's, and I always talk about giving it to him first. And the truth is, I struggle with that, Last night, I couldn't sleep. I mean, I had court, this morning and I didn't sleep. Just couldn't sleep. Watch YouTube, watch some UFC stuff to kind of get my mind, but I was so worried, and in my mind I was going, God, I should just take my mother to the hospital. Like, she's not, acting right, but is she okay? Like, I'm going, is it? But then I realized it's not a language barrier thing, that there's issues. And we go to the doctor, and then the doctor's going, yeah, I mean, we get these tests, but, hospital is not a bad thing. And, get to the hospital, and, all of a sudden she's got a fever, and there's stuff going on, man. And I'm like, just trying to handle stuff. And I know I'm no different than anybody else. There's no pity. This isn't a pity video. Oh, poor Roger. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just acknowledging the people who follow my YouTube channel that tough times happen to us, right? It could be a criminal case, it could be a personal injury case, it could be a sickness in the family, it could be a loss of a job. I just talked to somebody and they just lost their job. I mean, what a time to get laid off, right? Like, you're in the middle of December and you're getting laid off and you can't pay your bills. And how long does unemployment take, or how long does it take to get another job right in the middle of December, right? But you still got your phone bill due, and you still got to put gas in your car, and you still got to pay your insurance and stuff like that. So, and then you take all the the different issues that are going on in our country, and the struggles that we have, the division. I don't know, man. I work so much, I can't really focus on that stuff. Sometimes I'll see it on social media. I got to change that. I'll watch something on Netflix, and I go, damn it, I don't want to. Honey, can we change this? This is too negative. I got people that have been in a serious car accident. I have people that are facing jail and prison time, and I have people that are dealing with immigration issues based on their criminal cases, and you have sick family members, friends. I got a friend that's got, I don't know, like a colon cancer, man. It beats me up. It was a kid that I grew up with in high school. Met him in 9th grade, and I'm worried about him. You have people that call and ask you basic stuff, and you're just trying to help, but yeah, man, I need a recharge, but there's no time to recharge. I'm going to go to this meeting, do what I got to do, try to file some information on a VOP, talk to a prosecutor, get back to the hospital, then go back home, make sure my father-in-law is good, he's got food, and then maybe bring him up to the hospital. Man, it's just, whew, I got a day. Make sure the dogs are fed, make sure they got their medicine, and I'm actually hoping for not too many new callers right now, because I got the receptionist answering most of the phone calls today, and as I talk about, I 95 out of 100 calls I answer myself. So, but you gotta give up something when new emergencies transpire. So if you're going through it, you're not alone. If you're struggling with something, addiction, suicide, call a counselor, talk to friends. If you don't have friends, call the 1-800 number. What we deal with in pain today, with the struggle that we deal with today, if you ask someone a year from now, most of the stuff you forget. Like, why was I even? So don't dwell on it. Try to give it to him, and be open to communication with loved ones. It's the holidays, friends, people that say, yeah, everything's great, but they may be suffering. They may have a diagnosis that you're not aware of. They may have a sick family member. They may have someone that recently passed. There's so much. Smile, be kind, and take an extra few minutes for a total stranger. Anyway, towards the end of my boxing career, they called me Care Bear. Go figure, right? Care Bear. Yeah, one of my nicknames. Care Bear, white chocolate, because of my athletic abilities. White chocolate. I got stories for days, guys, but I'm almost to my meeting. Have a good one. See ya.